Hello, my dear students. Today we can discuss a new topic. Iron and steel factories come up in India. So here, in the previous session, we discussed about smelters, wood steel, and later abandoned furnaces in villages we discussed. And today, the coming up of iron and steel factories we can discuss. The year was 1904. In the hot month of April, Charles Welch, an American geologist, and Dorabji Tata, the eldest son of Jamshedji Tata, were traveling in Chhattisgarh in search of iron ore deposits. So, which year? 1904. Which month? April. Means a hot month. Two people. Who are they? Charles Welch. Who was Charles Welch? An American geologist. And Dorabji Tata. Who was Dorabji Tata? I think you know about Jamshedji Tata. So Dorabji Tata, he was the eldest son of Jamshedji Tata. Started traveling in Chhattisgarh in search of iron ore deposits. What is iron ore, you know? Iron ores are rocks and minerals from which metallic iron can be economically extracted. So we can extract the metallic iron from rock and minerals. So here that is iron ore. So to search these two people, Dorabji Tata and Charles Welch, they traveled in Chhattisgarh. They spent many months on a costly travel looking for sources of good iron ore to set up a modern iron and steel plant in India. Actually, what was their aim? To set up a modern iron and steel plant in India. So they spent many months in order to search good iron ore deposit. So a modern iron and steel plant means what is the raw material there? Iron ore. So to search that good iron ore, they started their travel through the Chhattisgarh. Jamshedji Tata had decided to spend a large part of his fortune to build a big iron and steel industry in India. So Jamshedji Tata, he decided to spend his savings for what purpose? To start a iron and steel industry in India. This could not be done without identifying the source of fine quality iron ore. So for starting this, what is essential here? Good quality iron ore deposit. So for that they started their searching. One day, after traveling for many hours in the forest, this Charles Welch and Dorabji came upon a small village and found a group of men and women carrying basket loads of iron ore. They saw that some men and women carrying basket loads of iron ore. Who were these people? They were the Agarias. When asked where they had found the iron ore, the Agarias pointed to a hill in the distance. So this Charles Welch and Dorabji Tata, they asked from where they collected this iron ore. And these Agarias pointed to a hill in distance. Welch and Dorabji reached the hill after an exhausting trek, means the dangerous, risky trek through dense forest. So by taking some risk, these two people, they reached in that hill. On exploring the hill, the geologist declared that they had at last found what they had been looking for. So what happened now? This geologist, who was the geologist here? Charles Welch, So he find out that for what they started their journey, at last they reached their aim. So what happened here? They find out the Rajahara Hills had one of the finest ores in the world. So this Rajahara Hills, they're one of the finest iron ore deposits. So these two people reached there. But there was another problem. The region was dry and water necessary for running the factory. So to start the factory there, what was essential? Water was essential. Water essential. So that is the problem. There was not to be found nearby. This water was not to be found nearest places. So the Tatas had to continue their search for a more suitable place to set up their factory. Again, what happened? They searched for a more suitable place to set up their factory. At last, Agarias helped in the discovery of a source of iron ore that would later supply the Bhilai steel plant. At last, what happened? Agarias, this group of people lived in that village, Agarias, they helped to find out a source of iron ore that would later supply which one? The Bhilai steel plant. Bhilai steel plant. For Bhilai steel plant, this iron ore supply. So what happened here? Agarias helped to discover a source of iron ore to supply in which steel plant? The Bhilai steel plant. A few years later, a large area of forest was cleared on the banks of the river Sabarnarega. So what happened? To set up the factory, large area of the forest was cleared in the banks of river Sabarnarega to set up the factory. And an industrial township known as Jamshedpur that was formed. What happened now? This large forest area was cleared and industrial township was set up known as Jamshedpur. Here there was water near iron ore deposits, very suitable. There was water near iron ore deposits. The Tata Iron and Steel Company, that means TISCO, that came up began producing steel in 1912. Then what happened? The TISCO that started producing steel in 1912. TISCO full form, Tata Iron and Steel Company. TISCO was set up at an opportune time. So that means a good time, that is suitable time. TISCO set up, that means Tata Iron and Steel Company set up in a suitable time. And through the late 19th century, India was importing steel that was manufactured in Britain. So through the 19th century, for the purpose of this iron and steel, or for the India's need for iron and steel, we imported that iron and steel from where? From Britain. Because of the expansion of railways in India, had provided a huge market for rails that Britain produced. So here what? For a while, for a long period, we imported iron from where? From Britain. For a long while, British experts in the Indian railways were unwilling to believe that good quality steel could be produced in India. So for a long period, the Indian railways, the British people, they were not ready to believe the Indian iron. By the time TISCO was set up, the situation was changing. TISCO started in an opportune time or a suitable time means in 1914 what happened? The First World War was broke out. Steel produced in Britain now used to meet the demands of war in Europe. So what happened? Earlier we imported the iron from where? From Britain. Now what happened? The steel produced in Britain now used to meet the war needs. So, imports of British steel into India was stopped or it declined, reduced dramatically, and the Indian railways turned to TISCO for supply of rails. So, what happened now? The import of British steel now reduced, and now the Indian railways turned to collect iron and steel from where? From TISCO, or steel from TISCO for the purpose of rails. And when the war continued on for several years, as the war dragged on, means the war continued for several years, what happened? TISCO had to produce shells and carriage wheels for the war. So TISCO also produced some shells and carriage wheels for the war. Now what happened? The demand of TISCO steel increased. By 1919, the colonial government was buying 90% of the steel manufactured by TISCO. Over time, Tisco became the biggest steel industry in the British Empire. So what happened? By 1919, colonial government purchased or buying 90% of that steel manufactured by Tisco. And what was the fortune of Tisco? Later what happened? It became the largest or biggest steel industry within the British Empire. In the case of iron and steel, as in the case of cotton textiles, industrial expansion occurred only when British imports into India declined and the market for Indian industrial goods increased. So what happened in the case of iron and steel, in the case of cotton textiles, India's industrial expansion occurred when British imports into India stopped or it reduced and the market for Indian industrial goods increased. So during the First World War, what happened? The import of British cotton textiles and also the steel reduced from Britain. Britain turned into war. So what happened? Indian industries, they got their local market. The demand of Indian industrial goods increased during the First World War. So as the nationalist movement developed and the industrial classes became stronger, the demand for government protection became louder. So what happened? Nationalist, our independence struggle, it started. Industrial classes became stronger and what they demanded? A protection from the side of government. Struggling to retain its control over India, the British government had to concede many of these demands in the last decades of the colonial rule. So what happened? Now during the war, the British government also struggled to retain its control over India. Then at last the British government agreed many of the demands in the last decades of the colonial India. Saying this, our lesson concluded. So what happened here? We discussed in our chapter the development of cotton textiles and also iron and steel factories and the import of British goods, industrial goods, caused the decline of Indian industrial products. The same time, during the First World War, when the colonial government turned into First World War, what happened in the demand of Indian industrial goods increased, that we discussed. So here, today's point what we discussed, iron and steel factories came up. We discussed about Tisco and also we discussed about the attempt of Dorabji Tata and Charles Well to set up a factory, iron and steel plant in India. And what was the effect of Indian industrial expansion? Also we discussed Indian industrial expansion continued during and after the First World War. The industrial class became stronger and the demand for government protection developed. The British government agreed to most of the demands as the national movement was also becoming strong in India. Saying this, I am concluding. So dear students, listen this carefully, underline the important points. Thank you. Have a nice day.